Hello, viewers. Welcome back to another exciting interview with me, your host, Justin McCoy, with the UNESCO Center for Peace Community Outreach. And I'm here with our special guest, the Mayor of Hagerstown, Mr. David Gysberts. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Great to be here.
hmm So, let's get started. The city of Hagerstown is going to be becoming a sister city with a Chinese town called Xinjin. So, could you tell us a little bit of the history of how that started? And
Sure. Our good friends at the UNESCO Center for Peace, Yi and Xinjin, were really the impetus behind getting this relationship started. They approached me earlier in the year, along with a citizen who's been actively engaged in the community here. Uh, they traveled to Xinjin and brought this idea to me about creating a sister city partnership. And I thought it was a great idea. I think that starting with peace and cultural understanding is a good foundation for building these relationships. And we sent an invitation back in August, a formal invitation from the city of Hagerstown under my signature. They responded right away and picked a date. And so we're hosting a group of 6 government officials from the Xinjin area of China to Hagerstown. We're looking forward to it.
so, Hagerstown has been a sister city with a German sister city for a long time. And how has that impacted Hagerstown throughout the years?
Uh, we have a very long-lasting and deep relationship now with the town and city of Basel, Germany, which is on the west coast of the Rhine River, going back to the early 1950s, so very shortly after World War II. And certainly it was an initiative of President Eisenhower under the People to People program to really connect individuals in communities to form the basis of uh, cultural understanding and mutual respect and peace, obviously. And so, uh, interesting history behind our sister city relationship with Basel. One of the pieces of history that's interesting is that the very first transatlantic satellite phone call was made between the city of Hagerstown and Basel, Germany. So we're very proud to be have been a part of groundbreaking technology and connecting people here on Earth.
Sure.
And so, what better way now to look in the other direction and look to the Far East, to China, to uh, build relationships. We know that the Chinese and the American economies are so intertwined. I think it's important that we start making interpersonal connections so we can really strengthen our relationships and perhaps create business and economic development opportunities in the process.
Good. So, tell me about Shenzhen. Have you been there? What have you studied? If you haven't been there, what have you studied and what have you learned so far?
I have not been there, although I was invited to visit, and I certainly hope I can take advantage of that invitation very soon. But what I've learned is that it's a county, actually, sort of in the middle to western part of China, just east of Tibet and the mountainous region. And they have, it looks like, very beautiful rivers and landscape. They also have a lot of people. And one of the interesting facts I learned about the area is that Xinjin, the county, is actually under uh, the direction or purview of the municipality of Chengdu. So for us, that's sort of the opposite. The municipality doesn't get to control the county, but in this case, that is what they do. And so that's an area of exploration for me to find out more about how their government works. Um, Certainly, I'm interested in how their economy has grown over time as well. I understand from what I've read and from what I've been told that that particular area of China was one of the first to be allowed to experiment, if you will, with private enterprise. Um, so I'm interested in learning more about that. And then just some basic things about Chinese culture and economy that I've learned about. For instance, you're really not considered to be a private enterprise if you have like a family business with 8 or less employees. So if that's the definition of private enterprise, they're not even really considered in that, but yet there is such a large presence of those kinds of businesses throughout China. So um, I've learned very little, and I'm sure I have much more to learn. And what better way to do that than to have face-to-face conversations with people from China, from Xinjin, and to be able
Sure.
to ask them. Excited.
So, how has the city of Hagerstown, the people, the community, responded to this celebration, this proclamation of sister cities becoming?
Well, the reaction I've gotten so far is a pretty excited response. There are a lot of folks planning to attend to greet and meet our visitors. I think there's a lot of curiosity and maybe some questioning about why are we doing this. But again, I think the real goal, at least initially here, is to create a cultural understanding and to just build those interpersonal relationships to uh, to set the foundation piece to perhaps any of those other business or economic development related things to blossom out of that.
Sure. So, once the proclamation happens on Wednesday, what's next for Hagerstown and Xinjin? Do you have
Well,
any?
that's a great point. I think there's hopefully opportunities for cultural exchange, like I said, whether it's going with a group of other officials from Hagerstown to Shenzhen, the opportunity for students to travel, for teachers perhaps to be able to be exchanged. So there's all kinds of opportunities, I think, in all the different realms of our social political life that we can look toward that exchange. And you know, there may be we have great uh, businesses and products here in Hagerstown that may find markets over there in China, and likewise there may be markets here for folks in China who are looking to expand our market. So we're really excited about the possibilities.
So, one of the big difference between Germany and China is technology. As you said, the first satellite type call. How is technology going to change the difference between how students, say for instance, students interacted between with German students? How is that going to differ with students from Hagerstown and students in China?
Uh, well, well, first of all, here in Hagerstown, we have a lot of cultural heritage roots that go back to Germany. So there's that special connection here in Hagerstown to people of Germany. And there's a tradition of student exchanges between Basel and Hagerstown. And it's the cost of flying to China is probably a little bit more than to Germany. But using technology, I think as we were talking offline, it's such a great opportunity to really connect people without having to really cost a lot of money. So looking to exploit those kinds of opportunities, I think, will be important as well because, again, they don't cost anything. Maybe the sacrifice is made in terms of having to give up our ignorance of what other people are like, making assumptions about people. So I think the possibilities are limitless. Uh, Again, I think whether it's in business or education, there's a lot of opportunities for us to learn from each other and perhaps have mutually beneficial activities and relationships.
So, what's one goal you wish for students to gain from all this, and how they would perhaps apply it to the real world once they become of age and start working?
Well, I think the first goal would be to just have an open-mindedness, to be open to learning about different people and different cultures, and even learning different language. Language skills are really marketable skills these days. And I think we have one high school here in the county that currently has the Chinese language program. And perhaps there's a way to really build that as students see that there are some real opportunities to be able to put those skills to use in whatever realm they're interested in, whether it's humanities or business or science and technology, medicine, uh, any of those kinds of industries. We can certainly again learn from each other and have mutually beneficial relationships.
Good. I hope all this goes very well, because I know Hagerstown is a very good place to live, and our good old neighbors to the north.
Yes, indeed. Well, we hope you will be able to join us sometime.
Sure.
And if you're ever in Hagerstown, let me know.
Okay, no worries. Well, thank you for the time doing this interview on our community outreach page.
You're very welcome.
And I hope Wednesday is a real success for you guys.
I think it's going to be great.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.